Hello members, and how are you? My name is Wahindo Barak, and today we are going to proceed from the previous lecture where we created a simple application of a diary book, and this diary book was allowing multiple users to register on it, and multiple users to create account. To create account and also being able to log in, and also being able to create their records, and also being able to log out. So we covered a lot of things. If you still remember, we looked at how you can save your data on a local database, how you can perform the local SQLs on your mobile, on the mobile phone. Also looked at different advantages that you need when the different advantages that you achieve when your application supports a local database. So always do 40 minutes per session. As you can see, my counter has started counting. So we're going to go straight into our today's business, where we're going to create a simple news application. So in that news application, you're going to learn a lot of things that you're going to need in your real world mobile application development experience. We're going to see how you can make HTTP requests by getting the data from the. Yes, sir.
I hope because I see still students, of course, last time they are complaining.
Yes.
We are still going to go ahead. Guys, I'm asking you to encourage your friends to join it. As you can see,
and our timer is already there counting. So I say that today we're going to make a news application. In that news application, we're going to learn a lot of things. We're going to see how we can make HTTP requests. That is how to collect the data from internet and put it in your mobile application, and also how you can implement the offline capabilities. That is, in case you're offline, someone should be able to get the news and read the news that were cached on their device. And also we'll see how we can optimize the local database, and also we'll see how you can do what, how you can we will learn also how we can implement the caching of images. These days images are very handy in so many mobile applications. So we're going to see how you can optimize the user's data by caching the network images to their devices, so that even if they're offline, they should be able to see the images that were loaded from internet. So there's a lot that we're going to learn today. So I request you to be very attentive, and in case I am very fast, you can you can alert me and I slow down, or in case you don't understand anything that I'm explaining, you can put your hand up and explain it clearly. However, you will know you're not going to understand everything, of course, from this class, like how the code goes, but the main point that why you're doing this is to give you the possibilities of the application, of what the application can do, and showing you how it is simple, and showing you the procedures that are done. Then how to write the code. Of course, you can rewatch the video again and again as you practice, and then after practicing, you will have these things in your brains, and they'll not go away forever. So with that much said, let's go straight into our today's business. So as you can see, I've already started the application that we always use to practice with. This is the code. So if it's your first time, I recommend you to watch our previous lecture videos. So this is the code, and I've already run it, and you can see this is the application, and these are the things that we've been covering. These are different topics. So on top here, on top of this diary application, I'm going to put a news application. So it's going to be an application within this main application. So what we're going to do here, we're going to come here to where there is this diary application, and then we add we add a news application. Let's go ahead and do that. So to do that, we just simply come to our home page, which the file is this one, home page, and then I'll hide the directory, and then I come here where there is diary app. I'm going to duplicate this, and then after duplicating it, I'm going to change this word to what? To news app. News app, and then we can put a description how to maybe make a news application, something like that. So when I save and update, you'll see news application as displayed on our screen. Then we can also put a relevant icon like that one. All right, so that is it. So after doing that, now going to make a screen that when someone clicks there, it takes them to the what? To the news application. Let's go ahead and do that. So what we'll do, we'll come here. We're going to make a special folder for the news application. Okay, so I'll come here to where there is pages, and then create a separate folder. So I'll come here to new directory. I'm going to call it news, app, then underscore news. So I'm beginning with the word apps, so that my things should be in order. When I look for apps, all the apps should be in what? Should be following each other. That's why I begin with that app and then the name of the context name. Then after doing that, I'm going to create a home screen for the news application, or the landing of the news application. So I'll go ahead and put here what we call splash screen. So I'll come here to the news app here, to the news app, and then I come and say new, and then come and say new file. I'm going to call this one, for example, I'm going to call it news app, then underscore landing. Okay, something like that. Or you can call it for example, you can call it what? You can call it splash screen. Others call it splash screen, others call onboarding. So I can call it landing screen. Okay, then I put .dat. Then if I want my things to be organized in order, so I'm going to put here 1 in front and then put underscore, so that when I'm practicing, I should be knowing which file followed the other. So after doing that, I'm going to press enter, and then you will see that file has been added in this news directory. So we are going to put our news app logics. So after doing that, we're going to create now the screen for showing the landing page. So I'll come here to the home screen, and then after I'm going to come here and say stateless screen, STLS, like this, and then press enter, and then I'm going to give it a name, which is going to be news app landing. Okay, and then I come and here press alt and enter, so it can import this. I import that, so everything is right. So when someone clicks on the news app, we want, oh my god, I've just clicked on the diary app. Like I want when someone clicks on the news app, the application should take them where? Should take them to the landing of the news, right? So let's go ahead and run the application, and then after we're going to come here to our code here, to our home screen. So when someone clicks on this news application, we want the application to take them to where? To the landing. So we can register our news app in in the routes, like the way we did yesterday. So you can come here to routes. Okay, here to routes, and then come, and then we're going to add a tag. So I'll come here and just put here news app, press alt and enter, so it can be imported. So you can come here and put a tag. Okay, so you can come here and put final constant, and then you call it a tag, and then I call it news app. Okay, so it can be uniquely identified. So after doing that, we are going to do what? We're going to come here and now change this one to what? To news app, so that when someone clicks on this tag, they should be able to do what? They should be able to go to the news application. Alright, so everything is okay. So it's starting constant, then the name of the tag. Alright, so I'm going to go to our home screen here, to the home screen of the app. I want when someone clicks here, you should just push named, and then I pass the context, and then I put the news app, and then I put the tag. So it means that when someone will be clicking on that, they should be taken to the what? To the news application, to where this tag is. So I demonstrated this thing yesterday, and I hope you're not confused at this point. All right, so let's go ahead and click on the news app. So it takes us to the news application. So you can see this news application does not have any what? It does not have any kind of branding, just a placeholder. So we're going to come here to the news app. Okay, here to the news app. So what we're going to do, we're going just to be creative, and come and start and create maybe background color for this. So I'm just going to come here and say, so this is going to be, so I'm going to just go ahead and put here a container, a scaffold. Okay, contain a scaffold, for example. Let's put scaffold. All right, after putting a scaffold, so it will have a body. So let us put a, so that's what we have. Now let's give it a body, a body of what? Of maybe a news icon. All right, so it's going to be news app, something like this. Okay, so this can be an app, a button, or you can change this one to insert, and then you put an icon of icon, and then you open, and then put icons dot what dot article, something like that. Okay, so let me disable. Okay, I think everything is right. So I can come here and make the background color to be red. So let me do it like that. So that's going to be our news application color, and then I come and give maybe the icon size to be 100, like this. All right, so I can come and change the what? I can come and change. Yeah, I think that's okay. I think that's okay. I can remove this. I can remove the center, and I come and put this one what? I can come and put here a column, and then I come and put here the word, the text, and call it e-news, something like that. So the name of the what? Of the application e-news, for example, like this. All right, so I'm going to center everything. So I'll just simply come here, max alignment center, and cross alignment, and make it center, and save. So if it doesn't center in the middle here, it means that you have to give it a container, and give it width, and say width is infinity, like this. It will be able to center in the middle. All right, so that is our simple landing screen. You can of course make something better than this, but for me, I'll keep it this one at this. Okay, something like that. Okay, so that's our landing screen. It's not the most beautiful one. Okay, so I can come here and put replace on the size box, and then put a constant, so you can save space. So that is our application. All right, so after doing that, so now we're going to do the landing screen, the landing page. Okay, the landing page of the application. So what we're going to do, we're going to put here a few things that we're going to use for testing. Okay, we're going to first put a few things that we're going to use for testing. For example, we're going to first do something that can fetch for us the news from internet. We're going to do something that can fetch all of those things, and also display etc. Then after, we'll go ahead and implement the application. So let's go ahead and create the home of the application. So I'll come here, and then come here to this landing. I can duplicate this very screen. Okay, I can duplicate this very screen, and then copy and paste, and change this one to be number 2. And then instead of putting here the word landing, I put here home. Okay, news app home, like this. Then after doing that, I come to this file that I've just duplicated, and then I change the what? The name of the class. Control F, Alt and Enter, and then come and put here news app home like this. Okay, so after doing like that, so we want this application, right, let me just remove the background color first. Let me remove the background color. Yep, I think everything is all right. Let me remove this. Let me make them to be always on top, something like that. All right, so after doing that, so we're going to now navigate after the home screen. After this landing screen, we want the application to load for like 3 seconds. After loading for 3 seconds, then it should open the home page of the screen, or the news home page, the news app home page. So how do we do that? We'll just simply come to our landing screen. This is the landing screen, and then we're going to add we're going to put a listener to the init state, or to the initializing state, and then after we should go ahead and call the function that does the logic of initializing state, and then it should delay for 3 seconds and then navigate the person to the home screen of the news automatically. All right, let's do that. So we can create a function first for the initializing state. So I can say maybe my init, you can call it anything that you want, my init, and then after we go ahead and delay. So you can put here asynchronous. This is going to delay, so it could be asynchronous. We go ahead and say await. Okay, let me show you how it is done. Await, then we put future dot delayed. So after you say duration, and then in the duration you pass the bracket, you put the bracket and say seconds, and then you put here the number of seconds that it should delay. So by doing like this will be able to delay for 3 seconds before it executes the next command. So after delaying the 3 seconds, I want the application to move to the home screen. Okay, so I'm just going to put here navigator.remove, or I can say navigator.push named. So push and remove until. So I go ahead and put, okay, let's just put push named, and then you pass the context. Let me just first remove this. Okay, context, and then the news app. So since all right, let me just come and get this. Sorry, come to the home screen, this one, and then copy this. Okay, so I want here the news. After it has delayed for 3 seconds, I want it to navigate. So I'm not able to get the context. Why? It's because, let me see, because it's stateless. So you can convert it to stateful, and then you'll be able to access the context. All right, so after it has delayed for 3 seconds, I want it to navigate to what? To news what? News app home dot what? Dot tag. All right, so it will go. So it will delay here for 3 seconds. After the delaying for 3 seconds, at this point, it will navigate to the what? To the home news. Okay. So all right, to the home of the news. Okay. So all right. So after doing that, let's go ahead and now do the logic of listening, or creating the event that will listen. That when this screen starts, it should call this function. Okay. So how do you do that? We have to put what you call init state. You still remember we use what called init state, and then here init state you call my init. So it means that this function will be called immediately when this screen is opened, and then this function will delay for 3 seconds. After delaying for 3 seconds, it will navigate to the what? To the home screen, okay, or to the home tag. All right, so I save. After doing that, I come back now. Now we should be able to achieve what we just done. So when I open this screen, it will display these things, and then this will be automatically called by the operating system. Then it will call the init, my init will delay for 3 seconds. After delaying for 3 seconds, it will move to where? To the news home screen. All right, let's go ahead and see how that's achieved. So I hope we have registered this news home tag. Let's go ahead and register it. I think I've not registered it. This one, I've not registered it in the routes on the main. So let's go ahead here and come on the main app and then register the home screen here like this. Okay, so I hope you understand that, and I hope you're on the same page. All right, so I will save, and then after saving, let's go ahead and now click here. So when I click here on the news app, it will delay for 1, 2, 3, and then it takes us to what? To the news home screen. That is beautiful, isn't it? It is beautiful. So okay, now let's go to our news home screen and now start doing some few things that we need to do. So let's go to the news home screen. Where is it? It is here on number 2. So here, let's go ahead and give it an app bar. However, you can design your things in any way that you want. Even you may leave the app bar if you don't want it. So I'm going to give here the app bar to here to the scaffold. I'll just simply say app bar, and then I say app bar, and then after opening the app bar, I pass all right. So I'm going to explain how I've achieved this. All right, so this is nothing but an app bar. You must be knowing an app bar at this level. All right. Okay, so I'll save, and then we'll have our e-news like this. All right. So after having this e-news at that point, I'm going to just remove these things in this column, and then we're going to use this column to demonstrate so many things. All right. Good. So we can address this one with a what? With a single scroll view, like this. All right. So now with that much said, let's go ahead and now start doing the real logic. So what we're going to begin with, the first thing that we're going to begin with, you're going to learn how to request information from the internet, or what we call HTTP request. So after seeing how we request information from the internet, let's say that you can be able to collect the data from the internet, we should now go ahead and start now implementing the what? Implementing the news API. So here what I'm going to do, I'm going to put just here our first item, or our first button that is going to use that we're going to use to request the information from the internet. That's going to use to test that. So here I can use what we call it raised button, raised. Let's put here button. List style. All right. So let's go ahead and put here, for example, list style. All right. So here in this list style, we put our, for example, our leading icon that we're going just to use to. Okay. So if I save, we should have this icon. So this is just, we're going to use it for them for what? For just demonstration purposes. All right. So I'm going to put here make a HTTP request. So I want, when I click here, it should be able to test for us if we can make an HTTP request. Okay, so I will just simply put here on tap, and then on this on tap we're going to put a function that is going to call HTTP request. Remove this constant. All right, so I'll remove this. Okay, so with that said, so I want, like, when someone will click here, he should make a what? A HTTP request, or he should try to collect data from internet and get it to our application. So to do that, I'll just simply come to our our system, to our Google search, and then we're going to use a package called Dio. So Dio, it is a package that can help you to do HTTP requests. It's very powerful and popular. So go ahead and search for Flutter Dio. Flutter DIO. Badman looks so good in Dio. That one, okay? So it is very popular. It has 100 popularity. It has 130 points. That's the maximum, and it has a lot of likes. So it is very, very, very popular. It works on all platforms, available on Android, iOS, Linux, macOS, web, and Windows. So it is a very, very powerful package. So we're going to install it. So I'll come here to the installing part, and then come and copy this Flutter version of installing it. So I'll copy it. After copying it, I'm going to come here to our project, and then open the terminal here, and then paste there the link of Dio. So it will request the Dio package, and add it in our project. So now if you come to the pubspec.yaml, which is this one here, our pubspec.yaml, this one, you'll be able to see that one package has been added, this one here, which is called Dio. You can either add it here and then click on pubget, or you can just use the terminal to do what, to add it, just like I've shown you. All right, so after adding Dio, you can restart your app, and that's all how you install the Dio package. So now the thing is, now how do you get the HTTP request? It is very, very simple to get HTTP request. Can you see? These are the lines that we use to get the HTTP request. Okay, so I'm just going to come to our utilities. So since I'm expecting to make a lot of HTTP requests, it is better for me to write just a single function that can get for me HTTP requests. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. I'll come to, all right, so I'll come to to our utilities, which is under lib, under models, then you have utilities class. So I'm going to write here I'm going to write my simple my simple class, my simple function that will be responsible for getting the data from internet. All right, so I can go ahead and say it's going to be a static class, so if it can return JSON or it can return string, I can just simply say static, and then I say future. So this is going to be an asynchronous method. Okay, and then I open the square brackets, and I promise what it's going to return. I said it can return dynamic data. So the dynamic data is the data that can change at any time, and then I give it a name. I can call it HTTP_get. So this is the HTTP get, and then I open bracket. Then on top here, I put the string, how it will be waiting for that string. So I put here, how it will be providing it a URL, which will be in the form of a string, and then it will do the logic of getting the data from internet and then return it back to you. Okay, so I can come and copy this, one here, and then I paste it here. So I'll press, so when this, so I'll first create the Dio instance here, I think, like this. All right, so since it is static, I can create the Dio instance within. All right, so I'll come here and press Alt and Enter to import it, then it will be imported. All right, so by doing like that, we'll be able to do what, to get our data from internet. Then I can always return like this. Okay, so we first check if the data is right or not. So by doing like this, we'll be able to get the data from what, from internet. So when I save, and then let's go ahead and now try to test and get the data from internet. So it's going to be So you've seen how I've written this function. However, you can write it also in your own way. It's not compulsory that should be written like this. It's just response equals to do.get, and then you pass the link that you want to get. So this link will be substituted here when you start implementing this function. So for now, you just need to test. So let me go ahead and call this function here. So it's going to be utils dot what dot get dot http get http underscore get. Let me first import these utilities, and then you come and say http get. So it will take a string. Let's give it like a simple string for now, like this. All right, so by doing like that, we can just simply wait for the data, which can be dynamic, that can change. Data equals to await, then you add here await. All right, and then after we just dump that data, print dot what dot to string, like this, and then we see what has come back. So on top here, I put maybe something like print, and then say fetching data, like this. All right, so after doing that, let's go ahead and test. So I'll open my console. I'll clear the console and then try to click on make a HTTP request. You'll see fetching data, boom, and then it returns for me things that in the link that I provided. You see, everything that was on internet has been brought in the link that I provided. So that is how you make a HTTP request. That's how you request data from internet and have it in your mobile application. Once you learn how to do that, then what does it mean? It means that you've learned the power of connecting the mobile apps with what? With internet. That is very, very powerful, and it is a revolutionary. Yes, let it come. It is revolutionary to how the mobile apps can connect to the internet, and that's the whole power of being able to send the data to internet and then receive it back. And it is this simple. Just one piece of line, you're able to get the data from internet. So we have a lot of dummy data. Just come here to internet, say JSON dummy data. You'll see what you call here. We have one called JSON dummy. We have another one called GitHub pages. Another one, you see product. So there's a lot of dummy data that you can use to play with. You see this one is called it's a fake data for JSON, right? So you just simply write this piece of line. For example, just say JSON dummy data, and then say stroke products. It will give you products. So they have a lot of things that they give. They give products, they give images, they give quotes, they give, you see, it's so beautiful. So just, for example, this one, it just says stroke quotes, then it should be able to give you this. So beautiful. All right, so let's go ahead and test. So I'm going to come here to HTTP request, and then I just remove this HTTP request that came, and then I put the URL, this URL that will be coming from this one. All right, so let's go ahead and now let's go ahead and do what, and put now the real link. So I'll come here and put the real link, which is going to be https dummyjson.com stroke quotes. Okay, then I save. After saving, I'm going to fetch. So it's going to fetch this, and then I want to display it in the console. All right, so by doing like that, you can be able to display it even in your application. Let's go ahead and click fetching data, boom. So you can see that. Someone has a question?
Yeah, in the utils where you put the method, seems like you did not pick the parameter and then put it in the DOI. Do you?
I have picked it. Can you see? I'm expecting a string. I've just added it now. Can you see?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Thank you for that observation, but I've just added it. Good. All right. So you see, I pass here now the link. Yeah. Thank you for being so keen. That is good. That shows that you guys are following, and that gives me energy. All right. So you see, I'm able to pass this, and then I request. Now, can you see? It returns for me data. That is so beautiful. That is so beautiful. It means that I'm able to get data from internet and I can use it in the application. That is very powerful thing. Did you know that? I hope you didn't know. I hope you knew, but being able to fetch internet from the server, being able to fetch data from the server and display it in your app, it is very powerful thing. It is the game changer. It's when you're able to send a message and maybe do the server side, and when another application opens, you're able to do what? To request that data and display it. It's very powerful. So, but if you didn't maybe try, or if you give up along the way, you wouldn't know that it is as simple as this. Just doing this can make you make a lot of millions. Just being able to do this and being creative of how you can play with it in different ways, you can make a lot of money in that. Just one thing that I've just shown here. So guys, don't give up. There's a lot. Once you learn these things, of course at the beginning can be challenging, but once you learn these things and understand them, it is hard for you to do what? To be broke. I see someone's hand is up. You can speak as we are proceeding. Someone raising here. Yes.
I want to just sometimes when you, for example, in web development, when you're doing web development, you get some error called cause headers. Does that also apply this side in mobile programming?
Yeah, so some servers they don't support cross headers. However, that is very rare. In web, it is because they don't want you to access things that are not on the domain that is in the URL. So let's say that your domain in URL is having HTTPS and you want to request some data to the domain that does not have HTTPS. So that is considered as you're trying to get the data that is not being displayed on the same page, and that is considered as a security issue. So they end up not accepting what we call cross headers, like you're on same head on a certain header and you want to request the different data. So some browsers, they don't do what? They don't accept it. Browsers. But you see here, this is an application. This is an application. It is not a browser. So we are not limited to any domain. But if it was a web browser, and maybe you're on mohindo.com, then you cannot, it cannot allow you to request data from maybe mubarak.com, mohindo.com, which does not have HTTPS. Why? Because you're promising that you're sharing data from on mohindo.com, but in the background you're trying to get data from another place. So it gives an issue of what? Of cross headers. But here we're not limited to any domain. As you can see, I'm just putting this domain and I'm not changing it. There's no domain that I'm promising that I'm showing on this screen. So any domain that you want. So that error, it will literally, you will never find it here. You can find a lot of other errors, page not found and etc. But here you will not find it. But on web browsers, when you want to do Ajax, you'll find it, of course. So I hope I've answered you because of security issues. So we can proceed now to our news application. Now, since we have now tested that we can get the data from internet to what? To the browser. So the next thing we're going now to see how can we get the data from the news API. So there's a lot of APIs here on internet. Among the APIs that are available on internet, you see all these are just free APIs. They are just providing you fake data. All right. So there's an application. There's an API called News API. Okay. CompleteNewsAPI.org, it provides you free news information. Okay, so you can develop your own API, but to save time, we're going to use this existing API, so you can learn also. Maybe if a developer has done his API, or if you want to integrate with an API, how can you integrate your app? So we're going to see how you're going to integrate this news API and create for it an interface in our mobile application and display the news that are coming from this news API into our application. So let's have a break of 5 minutes. After those 5 minutes, we come back and now see how we can get this news from this API and display them in our mobile application with the images, and also implementing the local offline capabilities. All right, let's have a short break of 5 minutes and then we come back for another session, unless there's a question. Anyone asking?